dark in here. Anyway, welcome. Hey, there's Nari. We'll leave the lights off for him. I have so many signals. And apparently a cruiser coming in. Fantastic. Last time we built a med center. We did more in here. Don't mind the big hole in the roof. And then we made this, which I wanted to see what it looked like at night, which, nice. That's kind of what I was going for. Maybe not the pink. Let's change that. Base lights lab room. I was going for more like, I wanted like a blacklight look almost. Yeah, there we go. Kind of. Still seems really bright, but not much I can do with that. Maybe. Hello, ground line. Let me see if I can spell, because apparently I can't. Radius, geez, that is high. Oh, maybe I do want the radius up. Intensity. Yeah, turn the intensity up. Put the radius down, maybe? Yeah, that's okay. We'll mess with it later. I'll figure it out. Anyway, and then we have Nari's power plant, which I want to go see while it's nighttime too. Gotta run, ah! Run. Run. Whoop. Ah, Jesus. Oh no, that's a cool way of doing that. I like that. Here, let's help him out a little bit. Not that he needs it, but, you know. Just to have different colors. Let's go with a rust. How about that? Maybe like an orange, like a faded orange. Yeah, one of the new things. And then same thing with that. Nah, that don't look good orange. Let's try that one as the gray. Like rusted out machinery. There you go. Hello, ground line. That way it looks like some old machinery we found sitting around. I like it. There we go. And it's only cosmetic. Yeah. Kind of what I was going for. Why do I not remember this terminal being on these? I don't know. I might not have ever paid attention enough, but I don't remember this being on there. Slightly. Because, you know, align with gravity is apparently not a thing that actually happens when you align it with gravity. Then we got our big solar tower. Oh, did I miss one? Well, that's just rude. I locked you in there. What? I thought the door was open, or did I accidentally close it? Quite possible. No, it's open. Nope. Completely open. Yeah, that'd be it. I can get rid of that. Anyway. Dun 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 dun. This is gonna take forever. Ah! Don't do that. Dun dun. What is going on? Oh, it's because it's adjusting. Okay. So yeah, we're not actually going to be able to climb that. Every time it moves to adjust itself, it throws me off. Fair enough. Oh, is that what that is? Nice. Light is still on. Camera is there. Apparently, the sun is that way. Okay. Let's go take a look at the Epsilon. Now that I've gone over everything we did, this is Groundline's new ship, huh? Where? Huh. I like it. Lot of atmo thrust. Looks good though. I don't know if I would call it a cruiser class. And you got a cockpit on the inside. Uh-oh. Stuck. Is there another interior to it that I'm missing? That's fair. Ooh. Batteries. That I would consider a weak point. But if they manage to get there, I don't think it would be too terrible. That's what I was thinking, Montana. I wouldn't necessarily call it a cruiser, more like battleship, but I'd have to see the weight. Oh, that's a lot of thrusters. No wonder it's so fast.
Howdy.
Now I'm stuck. Ah, hello.
It's so fast, I'm stuck. There you go.
I got it. Oh, did this decoy and stuff never get built? Oh, is that... what?
May have been out of range, or it may have gotten deleted when you betrayed us.
Yeah, that's possible. Interior plate, yada yada. Yeah, that's possible. Or something shot it, because it is like the decoy that's gone. Well, I don't know.
So
Maybe.
maybe. So
Oh,
those were also the ones that were farthest away from base.
yeah, that's true.
So Bob may have had trouble getting it.
Yeah.
Or they could have been shot. I don't remember if they were fully built or not, but
I think the galleon's got you by a couple blocks. It does. Galleon also has a lot more open space and a lot less thrusters. But that's on purpose. Galleon is much. Yes. Galleon is also like twice as tall as your ship. They'd be close, actually. Yeah. Twice as wide, 2 times as tall. The galleon alone, by itself, empty.
weighs 6.
It was like, I think it was like 6.8 or 7.1 or something, depending on what was in it. Hey, it's Green Dragon. What are you flying around? Little Huey type helicopter. I like that. Yeah, ground line is 5.2 mil. The galleon sits at close to 8
like
mil.
Twice that.
Close to 8 mil empty.
At least.
Nice. I like this.
Howie.
I think it's a Huey. What are those helicopters that have like the Marines fly that have the turning wings?
I don't think it's a Huey. A Huey is the straight helicopter.
Yeah.
I
can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's what it looks like, is the Marines.
Osprey.
Osprey,
Yeah.
that's the one. I always get them mixed up. And he took off somewhere. That reminds me, I need to build my, oh, we're missing glass. Well, that needs replaced first. I need to rebuild my one ship.
Can you make 2? So, because I need something to cruise around in that doesn't require so much firepower.
Yeah, once I add back a hinge head to this hinge, apparently it got lost in the... So did the control seat. God damn it.
Yep.
Just nothing went right with that whole experimentation, did it?
Well, a lot of things went right, but a lot of things went wrong.
That's true.
So, or at least things have theoretically gone correctly. So they haven't been tested yet, so maybe it all went wrong.
This is true. I also have not put an announcement for that yet. And thank you, Montana. Says we build some nice stuff. Some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Hinge. Hinge, print head. And medium head. Current angle, 90 degrees. Nice.
Okay, so it kept that part at least.
Yep. Now I need to add back the projectors.
That hole wasn't quite as oversized as I thought it was. I didn't realize you built the door like 3 blocks out from the welding bay. Is it 3 blocks? Two blocks out.
Yeah.
I need to move this hinge out 1 block.
Control C. Those are PHC projectors. Damn it, I'm gonna need a button just directly on that.
Yes, you will.
Button, a button, not the single button, I want that one. Okay. Projector. Damn it, not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Actually, just give me this. Nice. Okay. Now, I gotta turn Bob's off.
Yep.
I don't see the PHC Bob's that.
He might not
Oh, there they are.
have named him Bob.
Yeah, PHC building repair is what his are. Okay. So, let's get our seat back. Galleon, groups, Jesus. We want welders. On, off. We don't need the hinges anymore, but, I mean... I'll
Do you want me to just remove them?
Just in case. Nah, we'll leave them there. They'll stay for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah. Maybe we'll use them again someday.
Right. Light.
Although, obviously, after the galleon moves to a new location, or decides to not dock anymore for a while.
At least with merge blocks.
Yeah.
There's our print head. So print head 1, on, off, 2. And then...
What's our plan for tonight?
Don't necessarily have one at the moment, to be fair. Okay.
Okay. I will go with Plan B.
What would that be?
Working on my fleet for that project you wanted.
Ah. There you go.
What's the cargo capacity on this world? Is it 3x or is it realistic?
Normal. Default. Or, you mean in player inventory or just containers?
No, ship inventory.
Regular. I think it's what, default times 3?
I think so. So, because realistic is turning it down, I think the default is times 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Light. Slipped LCD panel.
Definitely need
It
to
must
go
be the
back.
medical. That's why you installed cameras everywhere, isn't it?
Yep. Look, people didn't like them, so I put this up here too. I just realized half my glass is missing too. God damn it. Just can't win. Terminal is not connected to any ship. What? Oh, I actually have to be in it. That's stupid.
Breaking tone. Okay.
Well, at least now I can like set cameras correctly.
Actually, I don't need that. And a remote control is the only special block you need, right?
And antenna. Obviously.
I live.
There is a man who lives, apparently.
Press X for doubt.
Ellen chat. Where's the cockpit of the Templar? Don't worry about it. Why do you need it?
Wait, what?
Ground line is snooping around.
He is.
And the cockpit of the Templar should be pretty obvious. It's a fighter.
Welcome
Unless I
back,
got
Bison.
this.
Your
Finally.
passover totally didn't crash.
Fun.
Don't worry about it. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's what projectors are for.
So I did a thing yesterday, and it ended up making Bob's on the base dislike me and start eating everything I put down. That included the connector attached to your Passover. so
It should have had. I left it thrusters on, dampers on. Did somebody change that?
I don't think dampers were on.
No,
They were off when I
Nobody
got in the
touched it.
seat anyway.
so
Yeah, I had turned dampers on deliberately because somebody had turned them off earlier. But it sounds like somebody had turned them back off.
don't know what happened there then.
No idea.
So
Because I thought about that. I was like, oh, I bet you dampers are going to be off somehow. So how much of it lived? Basically none?
Oh no, it's still
no,
here.
most of it did.
Yeah.
We repaired what we could of it. You lost 2 large atmos and a handful of flatmos.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was mainly just from hitting the ground underneath it.
Yeah.
The worst thing was probably the large thrust.
Yeah. Did you repair it per a
Well,
projector?
yeah, the one you had on is not the updated projector, so something might have gone wonky with the connection to the phage, the new phage, the
Cataphract?
cataphract. Yes, thank you.
Well, as long as you repaired it per the projection, the groupings are great. Because that was the main thing I was worried about, is I had all the thrusters grouped accordingly on the Passover's controls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got a new ship ground line, that's what I'm thinking you're saying? So as long as that's done, it should be fine. The only changes I made to it were back here for the cataphract. But I didn't group or control it in any way from the Passover seating. It's all done from the cataphract seating.
Okay. Well, at the very least, you probably need to run your damage script again to check.
Just to recompile.
And just run a quick check, because we, like I said, we think we got it put back together correctly, but...
Thank you. Let's see. It looks fine. The only thing will be, let me do a thrust test and make sure everything is grouped and named.
I mean, I put it back into place. Everything seemed to be working on it, so...
Let's see. Dampers are still off.
I turned them off, because I didn't... Like I said, that's how I found them. So I wanted to make sure that's where you had them or not.
Oh, you have it on recharge. Okay, there you go. Alright, I've got it disconnected so I can... Oh, yeah, some stuff is not...
Dang it.
grouping right. Let's see. All thrust, did they get added in properly? No, I don't think that's y'all's fault. I think that's... Well, no. That thruster... Yep, I got some programming to do.
Okay. So we did notice the projection wasn't the same one, so we weren't going to sit there and try to troubleshoot something that we don't necessarily have an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I just gotta set her down, detach the gunship, and check the programming. And get an updated projection.
Yeah.
You see the ship of ground lines while he's here. Oh. The ship, Sum of Cylon, or Cylon, Sum of Cylon, that's what I'm going to call it.
It's because that's a half block. That's why you're giving me such a pain in the ass. Okay. That's fine. We can work with that.
I like it. Let's see. Looks like you got the show bridge up there. Do you have a CIC on it? Or is it, Oh yeah, which missile launchers are they? The Durandals? Ooh, that uses a lot of uranium.
Yes, it does.
Oh, does it not have much of an interior? Is it mainly just functional insides?
It is mainly thrust.
Gotcha. Mainly function. But still, it looks nice.
Oh yeah, he did a good job.
Ooh, are you thruster burning something? I thought I saw a bit of smoke come out.
It might be me in the print bay.
I'm talking about ground line.
Oh.
Because when he went up, I thought I saw a little bit of black smoke. It didn't look white smoke like a depressurization vent, so that's why I was kind of curious. Ground line, it was somewhere around the Excalibur my character is next to. Yeah, it's still there. On the interior side of that Excalibur. Yeah.
You got something a little too close?
Maybe. I don't know.
Ow. Don't do that.
That gives him a rabbit to chase for a bit there. And now I can reprogram my patch over here. Let's see. Order of operations. I need to disconnect. Then unmerge. I may need to do a bit more programming with that unmerge. Because I think I need to tell it to turn dampers on when I unmerge as well, because they start with it off.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
But I've got an event controller for that, so it's not
Right.
a whole lot to mess with.
Add it to the list.
Alright.
Okay, that should be one armor block. Where?
Is it the one that you had to attach the foot to?
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Yep.
First.
Okay, let's turn welders off. Projector off.
Want me to cut it loose?
Yeah, it should be close enough. It'll just rest on the glass.
Okay. Move it out of here and put it with the batteries on. Okay. And the thrusters.
Yep, you should be able to go straight up. Just careful, it is zoomy.
And the dampeners are off.
Oh, I turned them off when it was being welded.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Feel free to do with it as you please.
Might shorten that tail a little bit. That's a little long.
Definitely
Thank
can.
you.
Yeah. Do-do-do. Oops, wrong way.
Doesn't seem to fit on this connector that you've got set up for it. This old blueprint?
No, it's like perfectly fits on the connector. You will be hovering above it when the buoys are on the ground. But you can connect as long as it's just resting on the ground. So I'll normally get as close as I can, turn the thrusters off and let it rest, and then you can usually connect that way.
Why do I have to redo the projector location when I took it from the exact same position on the ship?
Yeah.
Facing the wrong direction.
No, I'm facing the exact same direction I did before.
Couldn't tell you then.
Actually,
It's not too much of an issue there, Groundline, because you got the look nice.
These welders are like waiting for popcorn to go off in a microwave. You have to wait for that long break between them to know you're done.
yep.
Okay, reprogrammed and reprojected.
Nice.
Funny, did you ever get the missiles backloaded? No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
I did not. I will get that.
No rush. No rush. I don't think we're going to use them as much on this planet, because we
Obviously,
maybe just want to tinker it.
Oh no. Yeah.
Sounds like we're having some issues there.
That's funny.
I wish there was an option for inertial dampeners on and inertial dampeners off.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. But
It would be.
that would be too nice.
Mm-hmm.
He probably left the guns on there for defense, but so I should have just one left. Yes.
Did something fall or shoot?
Oh, gotcha.
Actually, this didn't get the. Oh no, those are welded. Just the reflection made it look like it wasn't. The lights weren't finished on it.
Oh, yeah.
Clean.
Man, now you gotta redo the connector on the base too. Not too bad, I guess.
Oh, since Groundline was mentioning something with the Templar's cockpit, do I need to reproject that one?
Might want to check. He either couldn't find it or.
No,
got
the cockpit is just gone.
Yep, and he's right. The gunship's cockpit is gone too.
Those shouldn't be welded by me, though.
You placed the bomb,
yeah.
and actually the Gabbies are missing their cockpits too.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, the connector is actually damaged for the Passover.
Hmm? I
The
thought we
main
repaired that
Yeah.
because we hooked up to it.
Yeah, and we turned the magnetism off and everything for that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's damaged now, because I didn't damage it pulling away, I don't think.
I even have access denied to it. Do you have access to it?
Let's see. I do, so it must be that bug. No, it says... Okay, it says the owner is ground line.
What?
Yeah. It says the owner is ground line. Alright.
Yeah, grind that
I'll
down.
fix it.
Put a new one. I got one.
Okay.
Weird.
The ground line, as long as it's not somebody else's, yeah, don't shoot somebody's base who hasn't consented. I understand they shot at you, but let's not make problems worse voluntarily.
Right. PvE, not PvP.
There will be a place for that. Promise.
Oh.
I need to go up a little bit.
Get stuck.
Alright, magnetism is like minimal with that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's such a big ship.
I just know the first time we connected to it, it had a magnetism issue.
Yeah. I think a lot of that was caused by the camera
Yeah.
hitting the what we had as a greeble on the top / support.
That's fine.
But yeah, that works. It's not like I should be docking and undocking all that frequently in this. Because it's only for large expeditions. If it's something close to our base, I'm just going to take the gunship.
That must be the one Nari is on. Yeah, Galleon.
And yeah, the Templar is missing its cockpit. Huh.
I'm not on
Smoking
it.
rotor.
Yeah, that's the build rotor.
Now, I do have a
The
good
one I'm
projection.
using over on the galleon.
Gotcha.
I have reprojected it, and we will just see. Are bobs on?
They are,
They are
off.
currently on.
Okay. I will build this cockpit myself. And check status of the projector.
Mm-hmm. I need parts.
Oh, you also got rid of my remote control.
Was not the intention.
God damn it. Lost the... Since I have a single connector on this, it's not grouped, so it lost that on the toolbar.
Nice.
Templar AT connector.
That is an unpleasant locking sensation.
What's that?
The way the Mayfly docks with the dampeners off. Turn off the engines.
Oh, with the thrusters?
Just shaking a lot. So
Yeah, that's why I usually turn the thrusters off to dock.
I just
I
hit
thought
a
you said to
event
turn.
controller.
I thought you said to turn the dampeners off and drop on the connector.
I mean, either one would really work, but I always just turn thrusters off.
So we got a Nari Mayfly now?
Yeah.
You want
Well,
to
the egg blew up, and I need something to drive that's not the death sights, or for when we just run around and don't need all the guns.
There's 2 eggs on the Passover.
Oh,
You
is
can
there?
take whenever. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just decided to permanently put 2 eggs at the back of the landing pads.
Mm.
say there's no guns on the Mayfly, so Do with that as you
I mean,
will.
I've even separated them as 1 and 2 in now the question of the day, did I ever bother to make a blueprint when I was done?
Questionable question of the day, huh?
No, I did not fix that, shall we? Just because I bothered to group them in 2s. There's hard-boiled microfighter the first. That one I don't think took. I need to delete something, don't I? Yeah.
There we go.
I have a blueprint of both of them, so. I can print either.
Whoa.
Hmm? What'd you do?
Do I have? No. Did he update the batteries?
Night owl batteries?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I connect with the
Right.
connector and they automatically go to recharge. And I don't have an event controller.
They didn't on the Mayfly you printed for me.
That's why I'm being weird, because ready to connect an auto on my hotbar. Connects, and they automatically go to recharge.
Did you set the ones on the Passover to recharge? Well, no, you didn't, because when I connected with the Passover, they're still on auto.
Right. What's going on here? One of the event controllers in the base do that? No, it couldn't. Not unless it was already with him. I have no idea what's going on.
Fuel low.
It's just weird to me.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that is strange.
Fuel
my gunship's missing its
fifteen.
cockpit too. Damn it. Control. Actually, I think that I can just turn your projector on. And then Bob will take care of that. I think one of these has a projector. Can't remember which one. I think Gabby has a projector. Yep.
Oh, duh. So why can't I draw stuff out of this connector? Because I haven't bothered to connect it.
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then does the grinder or the drill have a projector? Yes, it does.
Spacer.
That should take care of the
Right,
hopper
this is-
situation.
I think this is the first time I've ever used one of those conveyor spacers.
Uh-oh.
I have actually used
Crap.
them before.
Health critical.
Did you
Crap.
run out of hydrogen and die?
I ran out of hydrogen, forgot, and jumped off the building thinking I was going to fly over to the galleon. That's what happened.
You need a bottle? Oh no, there's
No.
carbon excess down there.
I survived somehow with 4 health.
Like butterflies in the sky.
I just
I
felt
can fly twice as high.
immediately stupid as soon as it happened.
You got that sinking feeling.
Oh, Eisen, I don't think you've seen the elevator yet, have you? With the new stuff to the base in general.
I've seen the elevator. Remember, I was the one who said we should encase it. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
started encasing it. And I have checked out the elevator since you've encased it. Oh, but I have not been in the new facility.
Yeah. We got new stuff.
Okay, let me see what you did to my computer room first.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, not much.
Actually, I made it
But-
easier for you. I accidentally made a screen. This event controller and this event controller that were for the elevator are no longer for the elevator.
Okay.
Because elevators are super easy to do now with multi-floors. So I didn't need it.
Sweet.
Medical room.
Bay.
Yeah,
3 cryo back here. Do we have 3 cryo other side, I guess?
we do.
Yeah.
And then we even, when you want to go to bed, you have a light switch.
Oh. Fancy, fancy.
Yeah.
I need to get some screenshots from like some of the ER dramas to put on these LCDs up here.
I was gonna say if you could have like a full like BPM monitor and everything from a hospital.
Oh yeah, I could do it that way. I was gonna do something funny, but yeah, we could do a series.
Either way, I really don't care. 3 wind towers. We got
This
the
is all
solar tower up on the far side.
Yeah.
You can climb up the middle, but you'll never make it. Every time
Got
the I tried earlier tonight. Every time you try to keep going and the tower adjusts itself, it throws you off the ladder.
So you have to shut the tower off first.
Yeah,
basically.
And then Nari
Fair enough.
has a power station.
Is that what this white building is?
Yeah.
Ah, there's where the large batteries are. Sweet.
Yep.
Oh, and I like the experiment hooked up with the pipes. Nice touch. Nice touch.
There you go.
Kind of looks like it's charging him.
Oh yeah, I suppose on this LCD, what we probably want is
Yeah, power.
Energons.
I can just do that real quick.
And then we'll probably touch it up in here a little bit and make it not so white.
Yeah, we were talking about all that lab stuff, and I ended up putting in a power lab instead of a power plant.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of hurts your brain a little bit if you stare straight on at it.
True, but it's the info you want.
Yeah. And then if we go back down through the base, or at least
Does
to it,
auto LCDs have power graphs, or do you have to use the power graph script for that?
I think
Script.
it's yeah.
Okay. Because it's like we could put this power script on that one and then do another LCD with the actual readouts of it. So it's not hard to read, just the one with the lines on it for power.
There is.
There is a power script. I've used it before. I just
Yeah.
didn't know if LCDs did the same thing.
No, he's just got the standard graphs in terms of the reactors,
The
turbines,
bars,
batteries,
yeah.
etc. The bars and the power time. But the one you're thinking of is the one that has all the equipment and along with productions and usages on each. Is that the one you're referring to?
We'll go to the right.
I'd have to work. I have to look just a sec. Let me attach a programming block to this.
I don't remember if that's a mod that has to be put in for that script to work or not.
The one I'm
No,
thinking
it's
of does. This is the actual lab room. Serves no purpose, but you got 2 extra cryos that aren't connected.
Sweet.
He mentioned he was building a lab up there, and I'm like, oh, we can extend the base with an actual one.
Mm-hmm. Now we just need to find a way to
Now,
get everybody down on the ground.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
I'm talking about the paragraphs mod. It doesn't require a separate mod. Or
Hmm.
the paragraph script.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. The one I normally use requires, like, text HUD, LCD, and all that.
Well, here I can load it on there. No. Jeez.
I'm sure we have an extra
Where's our
program.
computer room?
Main
Main-
base, left side. Big blue wall.
Big
Well,
blue.
Well, teal
Oh,
The
wall.
sci-fi blue. Or
Yeah.
sci-fi
Okay.
teal.
In the main building.
Yes.
Okay.
The 2 spares are unlabeled on the left side of the room as you come in.
Either one of these 2.
Fine.
The ones that are
Alright.
used, you can tell are used because I've got a 3-letter description of what they are in the center of the screen.
That reminds me. The upstairs, where, big holes get them, where the stairs are.
Yeah.
I figure the rooms, if you want to build one for yourself, are up here. So. And then I'm gonna, like, this side will have a hallway.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the hallway will be another set of stairs going down, and we're gonna build a party room.
Okay. What are we thinking in terms of getting down to ground level for Printer Bay and Rover Bay?
I could build another elevator. Or we could do stairs
Okay.
or ramps. Really don't matter.
Paragraph.
Probably also ought to extend this catwalk out to the deck so that it can actually serve its purpose.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then I was in the same boat you are of how do we get to the ground? And I
Mhm.
figured whatever way we decide to get there will be around here somewhere. So instead of
If you want to do an
building
elevator,
it,
the
grinding it, and yada yada.
best place is either side flanking this. You could just
Yeah.
do another elevator going the rest of the way.
Shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. I mean, like I said, now that I've played with it a little bit, elevators are stupidly easy now.
It's kind of a shame. If we had built that elevator in a little different location, we could have done a multi-stop and done it in one.
It is a
But-
multi-stop
Oh, where do you stop off? Oh, I
In
see.
the-
You get a mid-stop now.
to the assemblers and refineries.
Ah, that makes sense.
But, like, this, for all the floors, this is all it takes.
Yeah.
And then a few sensors to make the doors open and shut.
And now that we have the set too, that's a much easier
Right.
thing.
You don't need 2 event controllers per floor with a timer per floor. It's stupidly easy now. You have one timer, set the floor to go this, set the pistons to go this high.
Then start the next timer, set the pistons go this high, next timer, pistons this high, and you're done.
Exactly. And you set the speed, and you can call each one
That's-
its own function. It's ridiculous how easy it is now. Yeah, I mean, we can do another elevator. That ain't a problem. I would just have
I
to...
figured that'd be an easy way to do it.
It'd be the easiest, because all it is a bunch of pistons and pipes and 2 timers.
That'd be a decent number of switchbacks without making stairs overly long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna put the weld room on the same level as the rover bay?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So, because if you weld a rover, you're gonna wanna
Yeah.
Be
I
able to
just
get
didn't
it
know
out
if you were
without
going to
blowing up.
put, like, the weld bay up here and then, like, the rover bays down here somewhere or what was going
Oh,
on.
I
No,
figured
wait.
you were gonna add a sick jump coming out of the or out of the print bay.
Yeah,
I mean,
like a
we
45-degree
could.
angle down.
Could.
I wouldn't be against it. I was just wondering because you could have 2 stops at that point.
Okay. I did that
Can
wrong.
always find a way to incorporate the galleon's landing bay into the design.
Yeah, depending on how big of a rover bay we want to get. If we want to have a rover bay big enough for large grid rovers,
I was gonna
then yeah, the
say, I
galleon
mean, you might as
makes
well
a lot of
encompass this sumbitch.
Mhm.
Give it a place to park. That's a lot.
Yeah, this was just kind of rigged together to give me something relatively flat to park up to.
I mean, I'm down for it.
But yeah, if we wanted to do an honest to goodness large grid bay, we could make something happen. Especially with build and repair, so I don't have to weld the whole stupid thing.
Just let Bob's do it.
Because that's the big problem with large grid rover bays is it's just so big.
We're doing
It
this.
really is. Okay, where do we want? Honestly, just this side, I guess.
Block is mod.
Make it as close to the galleon as is reasonable and still have decent spacing.
That's what I was gonna do. Something kind of like this.
Yeah, because the further we get away from the cliff, the easier it is to get to the flatter spot for the
Right.
bays.
I can go over. Well, this red block here is the edge of the galleon. So,
I think where you've got it gives you enough comfort room. With large
Yeah.
grid builds like that, you never want it to be too tight.
right. Plus, I have to watch. Oh no, I don't have to watch that propeller. We're good. Never mind.
And I'm envisioning that you're going to take the elevator pistons and bury them, do some excavation,
Most likely.
just to get that bottom
Get you-
floor as low as
Yeah.
possible.
Get you close to it at least.
Come on.
Because I'll have to go about 5, 6 blocks down.
And once we figure out where the elevator is going to end, we can do some final catwalk down to, say, this level.
Yeah. So it
And
looks
this is-
like the floor
Where
for
the
the
fisherman's-
elevator could be like right here. That'll use the least amount of digging.
Yeah. And we'll probably put everything at the block level of the fisherman's dock currently. That gives us enough space underneath it to put welders.
Welders, run conveyor, yada yada. Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
I am probably going to do a better dock for the fisherman though, because this ramp limits how much mass I can safely come up and unload. Just because I have to have so much speed to get up the ramp.
Oh yeah. I completely imagine that. Okay, so I guess it's going to be a matter of finding out how many pistons and then build the floor around that. So
10 meters per piston, and you've got a good block count right here with this conveyor line.
yeah. Well, because you figure to get the pistons under the floor, I have to go below. Let's say the floor is here. Oops. That'll be the least amount of digging for it.
So counting,
So 4 more past these 2. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, no, the last one doesn't count because that's where the piston rests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so only 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
So 25 blocks to get up to this level.
Okay. So 3 pistons, give or take.
No.
No, that's
Each
way
piston's
more.
only 10.
Yeah.
7 pistons.
Yep. You're right.
And the 7th won't have to extend very far.
Well, it's also not going to be down all the way either because of how I've been building them. So a 3x3 area, make that 5x5. That actually somewhat works, to be honest. Really fucking close, anyway. One, two, yeah. Five there. That gives us a 5x5 center. I need to go down 6. I want to say the Gabby Minor will make that kind of fold relatively nicely.
The Gabby Miner doesn't have a cockpit.
It's about to. Oh, that was not connected apparently. There we go. Luckily, he had a projector on it, so... Yep, we're good. Apparently, there's no connector? No. Yes. What?
Did you eat his connector as well?
No, it's there. It's just not... The hopper doesn't think it's a thing? Yeah, there. Then let's get your projector on here.
I was wondering what was missing. All of my couches and seats got removed out of my friggin' bedroom.
Oh. Is that... Did you add the bedroom after the blueprint was made?
I don't know. No, I'm talking about in the galleon.
Hmm.
This is very precarious.
So the only thing I can assume happened there is that it treated them the same as all the cockpits and whatnot.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to make all that, because it deleted even the decorative deaths.
Oh no, we know exactly what happened.
Okay.
I basically became a traitor to the faction, and the Bobs are like, nah, you're done. And just started deleting everything that had my name attached to it.
What the heck, man? It even deleted my toilet.
This is why you get somebody that's not maintenance to install your toilets for you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll just
What
take
kind
it
of
with me.
monster grinds out the man's toilet?
The one you complained to that it's not working.
You monster! Okay. Furniture refurnished.
Woohoo! Alright, Gabby, let's see how many that gets us.
Oh, Nari, did you ever, I guess it's pretty recent. Did you see the Super Mario Mon ROM hack came out?
No.
So it's
Well, maybe. Is that the N64 one?
it's a Pokemon Emerald ROM hack that they've been working on for the past 3 years that replaces, well, it's complete ground up story world, etc. But
Oh.
it's 151 Mario enemies as Pokemon.
I saw somebody who had a video of it, but I didn't watch it because I didn't realize what it was. So.
I've played some of it. It's pretty fun. It's actually pretty well balanced. They did a good job.
I might check it out. I really need to finish Infinite Fusion first.
Your starters you get to pick from Looper, Piranha Plant, or Babam.
It does sound really interesting.
And yeah,
Does it need a special emulator, or does it have its own?
the one they tested it on the most is MGBA. They're not saying it won't work on others, but that's the one that developers used. So that's going to be your best bet.
Most stable, yeah.
That could be very dangerous.
Why is that?
Because I'd be going through and finding every single game that will run on it.
MGBA can run a lot, and there's a lot of GBA games that are really good.
Yeah,
Like-
that's what I'm saying. It could be very dangerous.
FFTA,
Gee,
TA2.
wallet.
Well, no, not for, well. Yes, I mean, yes, for the wallet, so he can possess the games that he's going to, yes.
Yes.
I
Hence
still
why I
have the
said
deal.
it.
I still have the download codes from most of the ones that already, because I kept all the books and the boxes and everything. So
And yes,
Yeah.
I do still have my copy of Pokemon Emerald, if anybody is like, hey, he's emulating. Yes, I've got a legit copy. And yes, I've got copies of FFTA and TA2.
yeah,
That's one thing I don't think people understand is normally when you go for emulators, it's because you have either had or at one point owned.
well, I got
or-
one of the old DSs that had the other
Finish
slot
cap?
in it.
Oh, the GBA slot as well as
Yeah.
the DS slot. Yeah, yeah.
But its hinges has gotten really flimsy, so I haven't been able to play it. But yeah, I've still got all my games and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
most emulators,
Mhm.
you've owned it at some point.
Yeah.
And my big thing is my next PC project. I'm probably going to take out my handheld PC and see how well I can load emulators onto it for convenience sake. So I can just take it and have a good portion of my retro library with me.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I really need to change this color, but I'm not going to. Gee, piston.
Much as it pains me to call it retro, that's what it is.
Yes.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's pipes out of there. Now I need that back. No, I don't. I need buttons.
I wonder if this is too many. Nah, this should be fine. That's only 9 grids.
Is there any reason I should not turn Bob's back on?
No. I'm fine. So,
Eisen?
Do it.
can he turn on Bob?
Yes, go for it. Sorry, I was reading Tox's.
It is hard to think of starter equipment in a post-scarcity society. So, Eisen, can I get your opinion here?
For one moment.
Oh, Eisen, the PHC's Bobs are turned off as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Make sure you know.
Okay, what you need?
Over here on the Galleon, does this look like an early game miner? Not the first miner you'd build. I've got a plan for that, but something where you've got a bit of resources and you need a slightly bigger vehicle.
It can work.
Or do you think this is too many grids to be considered early game?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 10 lifting for 2 mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fairly reasonable. If you're going to try to lift 2 mediums, that's kind of the minimum amount of thrust you're going to want. For 1 medium, I had 6 lifting, but that also includes the rest of the ship in that capacity. So,
Yeah.
I guess it
batteries
really
are
depends
Well-
on.
pretty heavy.
Well, like I said, this is the first few hours of a game world. This is the level 1 early game miner. Something that you would build fairly early.
Yeah, I think it could possibly work as long as the lift is sufficient. I don't think that's too many grids, especially nowadays, now that the unknown signals have heavy armor on them.
All the time, yeah. So that's... Because I was thinking, you found Cobalt, but you are still mostly handling or using the nano miner, the one that you build out of the starter pod with just the 8 grids off of the starter pod and the connector and drill thing, the little nano miner.
Because I'm wondering, at what point do you want to swap the large Atmos for the lift? Because the large Atmos is only 8 grids. But going single large atmo has its own dangers. Because then if it gets damaged, that's all of your thrust.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you bump something wrong and damage it, then oh, well, crap.
Welcome to mining.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this could work as long as the thrust is calced out.
Well, I was going to test it here in a little bit, but
Yeah, because I can show you what I used for my. I don't have one of this exact stage. I kind of skip some steps. Let me just plop it down.
well,
on
you
the
have your upgradable miner. So
Yes,
this is-
I've kind of gone away from using that one because I skip now between the founder, which is that little guy.
There is a way to get uranium. It's called raiding NPC bases. Some of them have uranium in them.
As we have found and confirmed.
Mm-hmm. What were they asking?
Groundline was saying we needed a way to get uranium, and there is a way to get uranium.
So here's the two miners I use now. I plop them down on the ground level just to.
Okay. Where on the ground level? Over here. Okay.
So I start with this thing.
Yeah. See, I was gonna build a nano miner like that
Mhm.
for the first part of my fleet, and then that's supposed to be the.
Yeah, that's why we don't use those ground lines with uranium.
Yeah.
And this is what I decided the next step was. This
See, this
is
seems
a bit
more
much,
like mid game. Yeah, this is like mid game. What I was thinking.
but I found that in my gameplay, I can get so much with just this founder miner
Mm-hmm.
that by the time I'm ready to swap miners, I'm already at a stage where I'm starting to build a welding bay, and this isn't unreasonable.
Okay.
Just my gameplay. Other people's might vary. You may want another stage in here if you kind of like to take your time at the different stages. But I'll wholly admit that there's a giant gap between the founder and the abbot here.
Yeah. It's a nice miner though.
Hang on there.
But yeah, I usually run. I don't like keeping a ton of resources on hand. So I don't usually build big miners and stuff like that. I build little miners for when I need supplies. I go out and explore and get the supplies I need and come back and or drive around in rovers for days on end and stuff like that. So I don't usually keep a large amount of supplies on hand. I go out and get the stuff when I need it.
Mm.
So
So the abbot here is as big as I get flying miner, and from there I go straight to like the fisherman. And at that point, I've got all the resources I ever need.
yeah.
Um,
I have
So-
not seriously built a plunge miner since I first started playing, and they all blew up on me because I didn't know how they worked.
So yes, admittedly, yours would fall square in between these and be a nice intermediate step. Yeah,
Okay.
as long as, like I said, you get your thrust calcs down, and pay attention to your tilt in terms of how much tilt it can handle.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the amount of tilt it has, but so I was
Because
going to go test it and see if it fell out of the sky.
I will say the founder here, for as cheap as it is, you can only tilt about 15 degrees on a full load. After that, you're going to start sinking.
Yeah.
Well, right to left tilt, that is. It can tilt down probably a good 40 degrees or so, which is what you want. The abbot has much more leeway on tilt, even at full load. But
Yeah, and this is how I like to build miners once I've got enough resources to be post-scarcity type of thing.
mhm.
We've got plenty of stuff. Is I'd like to build miners that have the ability to go straight vertical. I'm used to miners where you have to maintain a level 2. So
Yeah, all of mine are shallow angle miners, just because that's how I always use them. So I don't want to develop a habit late game of being able to do a straight plunge and then go back to early game and flip a miner.
That's my problem. That's why all of my miners are about that same way. As long as I got lifting forward and reverse, side to side usually has enough just to slow it down and stop it.
Now this only has cargo capacity of 1, 2, 3, 4 mediums.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think that had much more capacity than that.
But it's fully armored, so if you bump top and bottom, it doesn't really matter too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got... So behind the armor blocks is not immediately the cargo. There's a void, so that deformation of the armor doesn't bleed into your cargo container.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So it does have one less than my modular miner in terms of medium cargos, but I find this is enough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot more durable than my modular because it's got the armor. The founder, I wanted a flying seat with a drill, and it's got a light and an ore detector, and
I mean, makes
Yes.
sense.
minimal thrust as I could to still be able to lift a full drill.
Yep.
Which is 3.
What is... How many grids is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. So you couldn't build that out of the starter pod. You'd need a little bit of cobalt to start with.
Okay, you need one more grid.
Which you could get even off of the old unknown signals if you found one of the Hoppy boys.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, as long as you don't fill up the drill, you can leave off this back thruster. So you could build it off the starter pod and just not have this rear thruster welded and understand you have reduced capacity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, and these will be on the workshop eventually when I can get formatting down. I've got a good list of what I want on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want the page to be informative, so I'm going to have a table of all the components cost in terms of components and in terms of raw resources. And I'm going to have maximum tilt angles while full, and maximum lift on Earth like at 1G, which is pretty easy to get.
Nice.
Expected battery life at full thrust, expected battery life at hover.
Okay. Well, before I greeble this thing, let me see if it works. And then see if it works after greebling.
Well, to be fair, greebling doesn't normally add too much weight.
Well, when you're this small of a grid.
Yeah, I
What's your
haven't
map?
seen it, so.
What's your current grid mass on that?
Just a sec, let me lift up completely off the... Whoa, that's a lot of thrust. And I forgot the gyros.
Hold on. I'll slap one on for you.
Put them... They go in the back there, next to that pipe.
Let me make sure I'm not in the creative. Back next to pipe. I see.
Yeah.
You wanting 2?
Yeah, put 2 on there, 1 on each side. It's probably too much gyro for a ship this small, but...
You might
symmetrical.
need it when it weighs.
Yeah.
Can always have one shut off and Put an event
There you go.
controller on to turn on
Alright.
the other one when the cargo gets full.
So what's your mass at currently?
25,000 kilograms, 25.7.
Oh, actually, even better. Can you look at what a maximum thrust override on one of your small thrusts is at your current elevation?
You want one of the down ones?
Doesn't matter, they're all the same.
Okay. So.
I just toggle it off, then do the override.
Whoop. Yeah, that's a good point. Toggle off first. Okay, 96 kilonewtons.
So 96 kilonewtons. Have 10 of them. So you can lift at most 97, well, just shy of 98,000. You are 25,000 of that.
Go 26.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of leeway. And then, so you got 2 mediums. Mediums are what, 3,300-ish? 3,375?
Yeah, so 34,000.
Yeah, you should have plenty of thrust. You'll break even. Handily.
Just
And
for
then
the
some.
cargoes or cargoes and drills?
Cargoes, oh, that's true. Your drills are basically additional medium cargoes, right?
Yep.
That's 3,375 times 4.
Math.
You can still carry it. Yeah, because it fully loaded, that's 80,000,
Okay.
and you've got 98,000 of carry. So it won't be a pretty lift, but you will have lift. In fact, you could possibly trim down number of thrusters lifting.
Turn them into sides.
Yeah, because you don't have much sideways. Let's see. If you cut down to 8, would you still be able to? 8 times 96. 9.8. No, you could cut down by 1 upward thrust, but not 2.
So, so we're keeping the downward thrust.
That's what it sounds like.
Alright.
So you got just the right
And-
size ship going on here.
Admittedly, I just calculated that as if you were hauling solid uranium or the heaviest and most dense ore you can.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what you want, though. If you can carry that, you can carry anything.
watch the beam.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
I put them there, so.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mean nothing.
I put things there too, and then I run straight into them.
Exactly. I've done it. I know it.
Redlining if I go up and forward at the same time.
Batteries.
You're gonna want battery for 3-direction thrust,
Oops.
Yeah.
and you've got
Well, this is, again, starter miner.
well, you
Just true.
still you've got 10 lifting, 3 strafing.
One direction at a
And-
time.
How many forward?
3 forward, 5 back.
The first conglomerate. What?
Oh, one of the NPC factions.
Yeah,
Must
just
have
discovered it.
had. Must have had an NPC post spawn somewhere nearby.
I'm looking. I don't see anything.
Might be somewhere over here. I may have just discovered them.
Yeah, somebody did.
Yeah, this isn't a great miner. Like I said, I'm thinking of in terms of as part of the fleet of.
Yeah, for that you
Starter.
really want like 2.6 batteries
Oops.
for that many thrusters.
No. Grind it down.
This is nickel.
Tundra. Interesting conversation as I am new and crashed my second miner. Oh, then this is the conversation for you.
Oh, in
Yep.
that
So-
case, let me share my screen.
Yeah, so what they're talking about, and I'm focusing on this while they're talking, but I figured people would like to hear. What is happening is Eisen is trying to calculate basically how much thrust Nari is going to need for the amount of cargo he's wanting to haul. And that is in each direction. So for...
Well,
Oh,
and
that
the
is right.
what I was just
Um,
talking about was battery capacity in terms of your output. And what I like to do is calculate if I burn my thrusters at full burn in my worst case 3 directions at once, am I going to go over my battery's capacity? If the answer is no, then I shouldn't have to worry about batteries as I'm flying. If the answer is yes, that means I will lose lift at some point during flight if I'm not careful. That doesn't mean it's
Correct.
unflyable.
Do we
It
want a
just
hopper?
means- Uh,
Let's go. Sorry.
guess- isn't Phonic's thing a hopper, basically?
No, the NPC grid, the damaged hopper.
Oh. I mean,
I wouldn't say
what all
no.
we got in it?
So that's the first conglomerate that you found, that you just discovered. They're over here.
I mean, I'm in a hole. I don't know how I discovered anything. I'm still confused on that.
So, I
So
just
Phonic,
told
if
you
you-
about them.
Pull up my screen. I'm going to go over a couple
Yes,
of minor...
yes, I discovered it. Yes. Let me do that real quick so they can see you. He's live.
Right up to.
What?
I'm doing a lot right now other than possibly crashing. I cannot find the hole for the iron. I'll just go put a GPS on that hopper. Yeah, this definitely does not have enough battery capacity for a
Hold on.
sustainable
What am I gonna
miner.
do here?
Yeah, if you put a third battery on there somewhere, probably on the chin or tail, if you relocate some of the stuff,
Mhm.
I bet that would work fine. So let me know when I'm live, Phonic, and I can kind of go over it for them if they like.
Yep, pulling you guys up. Be a little weird, but I'll make them a little. I'll make you guys a little bigger. That way, they can see what exactly you're talking about.
Yeah, just for now.
Yeah, because all I'm doing is literally digging a hole. So, there. You guys can kind of see what he's talking about. Eisen is the one on top. And he's the one
Alright.
calculating. Nari is the one on bottom, figuring out his flight.
So what I've got out here is just a couple of miners of my design that I've used and can kind of go through some of the basics. This is the tiniest one. If you're looking at like my first miner, the drill, as Nari and I were talking about, has the same cargo capacity as a medium cargo container. So don't feel bad about using the drill as cargo. And
It's
also,
actually really handy if you don't have grids or don't have the space to put a cargo container.
And also don't forget, if you're out mining and you fill these drills up, a lot of ships aren't calculated to be able to fill these drills up as well as their cargo, and that can cause issues if you're using a workshop blueprint. This just has three thrust for lifting. It's meant to be really cheap. You notice it's only got 2 thrust reverse, a single thrust each side, 2 thrust forward, and it's just supposed to be an early game miner. This is calculated based on using the small connector and drill. What I use for my calculations in terms of volume to mass is 4 times the liters, so 4 times the volume in kilograms. That is the density of uranium ore, which is far heavier than what you're probably going to be mining. but you also want to give yourself some leeway, because if you break even on your thrust, you're not going to be able to get out of the hole anyways. So what you do is you take, of note for atmospheric thrusters, the thrust in newtons you find on the wiki webpage is not what you're going to see planet side, because the atmospheric density multiplier, even where we are, is not 1.0.
So
And especially if you're on Pertam or Mars, it's going to be even less. So the max thrust you see on the wiki does not account for atmospheric density. You will have less.
So the wiki he's talking about, I'll move him to the side real quick. SE stuff.
So
God, they have a new wiki, by the way. Did you ever see that?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
but they translated over a lot of the pages just straight over.
Yeah.
But
So-
people have been editing the new one more, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
No,
is not the one I was thinking of. Anyway, I should have it in here somewhere.
So a good way to check what your thrust is, where you are with the thruster you've built, is go into your control panel, look at one of the thrusters you have, and if you're in control of the grid, I would just gently land it or touch it down,
Okay.
turn that thrust off, and set its override to maximum, and that will now tell you its maximum thrust at your current altitude. As you
So-
gain altitude, the thrust it's capable of will diminish.
So they are asking the calculator on the wiki for thrust calcs.
Oh,
How
okay.
accurate is that compared to what you normally do?
I don't know. I do all mine by hand because I'm an engineer.
Yeah, Eisen is an actual engineer, IRL.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps. Well, you know what? Let's run a little test. Let me find the actual calculator. I have it here somewhere. Damage range, vector thrust OS. Let me
And I can try to get some of these on the workshop this weekend since people are asking about miners. I can try to do that. That should be simple enough.
Well, and the biggest part is making sure if you're someone like me and just don't care to do the math, sometimes I will, but more often than not I won't. Is it this one? No, that is not it. Well, yeah, it is. This is what I normally do. Whatever. So, what was Nari's mass?
26,000. Yeah, 26,000 K.
26,000, and then gravity.
mediums. Oh, don't forget the 2 mediums and 2 drills, which we'll calculate as 3375 liters times 4 times 4. So an additional 54 plus this 26,000 for 80,000 kilograms of calculated final mass.
That's what
loaded.
we're going with. Ah, okay. Yeah, so here, this one actually has, like, the cargo container stuff with it. Actually, let's see if it does the same thing. So 26,000, and you have how many?
Count it
mediums.
as 4 medium cargo containers. Because
4
each of the
mediums.
drills is another cargo container.
And our cargo space multiplier is 3 by default.
Yeah, the cargo space multiplier can mess you up too. I don't know
Yeah.
what that does with density calcs.
I don't know off the top of my head.
So everything we're saying, assume is for
Yeah,
default cargo settings.
right. So Let me move them real quick, or I could just move this over as well. I still can't see it very well. There you go. So, according to this, I don't know exactly how to read this. Need any of the following. That is not right.
No.
Not even close. 1 large hydrogen thruster, 1 regular hydrogen thruster, 1 large atmospheric thruster, 1 regular atmospheric thruster. It's telling him it needs 62.56 kilonewtons of thrust, which is
Let's see.
not.
Would you
right.
put it as 26 kilograms or 26,000?
26,000. Small grid. Gravity 1.0. Oh, meters per. Okay, hold on. No.
Ah, that's why, because you did it on the moon.
Yeah.
So 9.8 meters per second. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's 9.86 or some shit. But yes, now
You can assume 9.8 meters per second squared. That is the. Or if you've changed
do it
your
that way.
units, 32.2 feet per second squared. Right.
Now it's saying 613 kilonewtons of thrust, which Eisen, is that close to what you got?
613 kilonewtons.
Yes. Now this does not specify what ore you are filling. It just says fill cargo with ore, and you're adding how many cargo containers, what size those cargoes are, and the cargo space multiplier.
I don't think that's accounting for atmospheric, because that can lift 62.5 K or 62.5 thousand kilograms.
Makes sense. But you could see real quick where this can get out of hand. So if we do the straight, do you remember the ship mass number you calculated with the containers filled?
80,000.
80,000. So with the cargoes, we're looking at 613. We'll round down real quick. Now it's saying 784.
I think that's going to be real close.
So, but the difference that I think makes, the part that I think makes the biggest difference is if we kept this at 26,000 and filled the cargoes, it says fill it with any ore, but it doesn't specify what ore. Because, yes, the ores do
Now,
weigh
Groundline was, yeah, that's what Groundline said, but I thought uranium was the most dense out of all of those.
Well, you want to see?
Make a standalone cargo container and fill it with uranium and fill it with iron.
Yep. I will do that right now.
I was gonna say, where you at?
I'm in creative, so I can just let's do a
Just
medium
drop-
cargo container.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say do it just a large rig, but a small cargo container, just spawn it in and fill it up.
Completely.
Mediums just as well.
And if there's the same amount in both containers, then yes, they do weigh the same. If there's different amounts in each container, they weigh different. I mean, that's the experiment you're doing. Access denied.
Well,
Isaac.
okay. Damn it. So, no, they're the same liters, same mass.
I swear they were different.
I just did iron and uranium ore, and there's 1,000 kilograms in each cargo container, and they're both taking up 370 liters. Now let me.
That's the same space, but how much mass?
1,000 kilograms each. So same. Yeah, I had the same thought, but yeah, I put 1,000 kilograms in each of them, and they're both
Energy.
mass 1,000 kilograms and both 370 liters.
When was that changed? Because
I
that
don't know.
that was not like that before.
So that means a medium cargo container, technically. So technically, your multiplier should be 2.7 ish. per liters to kilograms. If it's
That's fair.
ore.
Yeah.
If it's only and ever only going to be ore.
On Earth, my miner had medium cargo and drill full of ice. I had 3 vertical big fans, 4 reverse jet thrusters, 3 forward, and 2 on the sides. 48,000 loaded. I mean, we can see.
Well, 3 large fans down should have been plenty, because that's 1 large Atmo.
Yeah.
That should have been plenty of lift. Did
So
you
let's
tip
just
over?
do 48,000, and we'll take off the cargoes. 3 large flat is what this is saying, which makes sense for what you're talking about.
So he had how much?
He had
48,000?
total when he was loaded. Yep.
And Earth-like?
Did not say. Were you on the Earth-like, I'm guessing? I'm going to assume because it's usually the easiest start that people start on.
And how much is a single fan? Well, they probably just
Single
plop down a grid
fan,
here.
I'm not sure. But yes, Earth-like. And it felt good, but I tried dipping down to scan ore patch and couldn't pull out. So that, I think, is where the misinterpretation is coming from.
Yeah.
When you use this calculator, this is basically just to keep you in place. It gets
Yeah,
you
if you
as
had-
close to a 1.0 thrust to weight ratio as possible.
Well, he said he had 3 forward, so that's 3 regular Atmo thrusters forward.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
assume
so
they
yeah,
were
that would-
smalls.
So that's
4 reverse, and if he's dipping
about it.
down, yeah,
that's not enough to hold up a ship of that size.
no. As you can see here, 5 is what this one's saying. But yeah, these calculators. So, I don't know if you know what thrust to weight ratio is when it comes to like aerodynamics and flight characteristics, but it's basically just how much thrust you have compared to how much weight you have, and
So Eisen is
you always
saying
want it
200
at more than 1.0. Saying what?
He is saying 230 kilonewtons per fan, but his Discord went out.
Ah, that makes sense.
So,
But
and,
yes,
for
these
3 fans, you have 690,000 newtons of force.
that makes sense. Okay. So what I would do is build that same ship. Hopefully you weren't like too sold on the like perfect design of it, but instead of 3 large flat Atmos, make it 4. Instead
Alright.
of the
hear
4
you now.
reverse thrust,
Yeah,
make it
I
5.
can hear you now.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, you see the math I typed in chat there on the
NSE.
Yeah, I
So I-
told him.
yeah, so his issue is going to be deceleration at that juncture because you were dipping down too quickly likely.
Yeah.
And what you had left in terms of acceleration was far less than gravity
Mm-hmm.
in terms of total acceleration. So it's going to take you longer to stop.
Correct. So I wouldn't. The way I build ships, I find that point where it is close to that 1.0 thrust to weight ratio. Because I'm not an engineer. I'm not going to do this math in my head. I'm not going to sit here and write it out. I'd fucking go nuts. What I
10
would
minutes.
do. Oh, nice. What I would do is find that nice thrust spot where you can hover. You have that little bit of lift to get you off the ground, even if you're fully loaded. If you're struggling to lift, and you're going slow, add an extra thruster or two. Always. And one thing you can do, especially on Earth-like, go, because you're normally going to build a base either like in the flats here or on a hill somewhere, whatever. You said you're in a mountainous foothills. Go to the hill and just fill your cargo with stone, but stay close to the ground and stay close to your base. If you are struggling to lift with full cargo, add another thruster. And that's before any greebling or designing the actual armor around it. And once you get comfortable with how much thrust it does take to build certain size miners with X amount of cargo and X amount of drills, you can start kind of building the armor first and then adding the functionals with it. That was a little bit of a rant, but I hope it makes sense. And if you need some elaboration on any of it, just let me know.
And do be very careful with early miners. Cargo containers are super fragile. Any amount of bumping into the stone can very seriously damage them. It's quite annoying.
Put it this
So
way.
a little bit of greebled spaced armor comes a long way.
This miner that Nakor built, one of the other guys that plays with us, these cargoes on here, this bottom one has, what is it, the top? One of them. Actually, no, it was the drill ship. These bottom cargoes get blown out every other time somebody flies it. Mainly me and Nakor. But it's because they get bumped on the armor while we're grinding a base. They get bumped, whatever, and they just blow up. They have no defense to them.
They can't even take bullets very well.
No, they can't.
It has almost, I was going to say it has zero impact resistance, but it has zero resistance to just about every form of damage in SE.
Yeah. Like these single blocks of like arms he put out with the propellers on them, which are modded, by the way. They have helped and saved these cargoes more times than I can count.
And you also have to be careful if the armor is tucked tight to the cargo like it is on his. Even the deformation from light armor blocks into the cargo container can destroy them. So you may get back and have an armored shell fully intact,
With no
but if it
cargo
took
inside.
some damage, it took some damage, and you'll open it up and find that there's no cargo left. It's like, well, oh, come on.
I've done it many times.
So the ways you can avoid that are, 1, spacing the armor. 2, having the armor that impacts
Space.
not being quite adjacent to the cargo, be it with a void or be it that you've got arms sticking out that catch. Or, now this is the heavyweight option and not what I recommend using for miners, but it is an option. Blast doors do not deform.
Yes. So that would be these little things here, like these edge pieces.
But in small grid, that's going to multiply your weight a lot.
They are heavy, very heavy compared to a regular armor block.
However, they're very useful for landing pads because large grid blast doors do not take damage from small grid thrusters.
Yep. It's actually very nice. But yeah, I mean, until you get used to the actual flight and the gravity, and there's actually no aerodynamics by default in Space Engineers. So you can have all of your weight, 20,000 pounds or kilograms, in the rear of your ship, and have
5
like
minutes.
a single armor block, 20 long, connecting to a cockpit in the front, and it's not going to throw your flight off at all. your biggest part is just making sure you have enough thrust in all directions. So, kind of
Can
work with
also be
that.
it can also be a nifty idea. Don't put all of one direction of thrust in one place, because if you happen to bump that corner and lose that thrust, if you've got it spread out, you're not going to be completely dead in the water.
Right.
Whereas if you destroy all of one direction of thrust, it's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be painful.
So, redundancy.
Yes. Same thing with cargo. Not cargo. Conveyors. Yes, that one.
Especially on combat ships.
Yeah. Once you start getting into dogfights with drones and going after NPC bases, you're gonna want redundancy in conveyor lines, because they're gonna get shot, they're gonna get damaged. All of a sudden, you have no ammo going to your guns, and you have a full cargo full of ammo. That's just
Some of my
sitting there.
larger warships have twin conveyor spines. Some of them have 4 conveyor spines going down the ship, interconnected at multiple points. Is it overkill? Probably. But, dang it, I'm going to have conveyor access.
It works.
But a large part of that is all my bigger warships are hydrogen, so it's hypercritical that fuel flows.
Yeah. This is probably the longest minute I've had waiting for the server to restart.
Did it say one?
I realize we went off on complete SE design nerds, but
Oh, that was 5
If,
minutes.
if somebody's new to the game, and hopefully some of the pointers can help.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask. I mean, between me, Nari, and Eisen alone, I think we have close to 10,000 hours.
So I've got over 5 myself, so
Eisen's got
just
3.
4.
Yeah, I know I've got like 2,500. So, yeah, we're there. If one of us doesn't know, one of the others probably will. And if neither, if any of us don't know, we know ways to find out. Like the ores being the same weights in the cargoes. That was not that way, I can tell you, last year.
As far as I remembered it, the uranium was supposed to be a different density, but we just confirmed with cargoes. Okay, there it is.
Right?
Can't argue with the numbers on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, we were wrong, obviously, but I don't know when that was changed. I wonder if ingots are the same then.
something we can test when the server restarts.
Yeah.
Because if the ingots are the same, then you know it's been changed, because uranium was always the heaviest.
Mhm.
Like, you had to build ships specifically to mine it because of that.
But now we know the multiplier is 2.7 for ores, so me designing my stuff with 4, that's a good safety buffer, honestly. Because
It really is.
if you calculate your ship to be the exact thrust at 9.8 meters per second, that means you have 0 thrust remaining to actually move the ship upwards or decelerate as you're going downwards.
Yeah.
It means your thrust is just enough to hover.
And actually, Tundra, let me show you what he's talking about real quick while we're waiting for the server restart. Right where we just were, if we go to SE calculator, no way. So, oh god, what happened there? Somebody had like a 1.5 mil ship saved in there. Anyway, yours was what, 48,000? Yes.
Yes.
So instead of doing like the 9.8 meters per, meter squared, make off the rip, Make that 12. I mean, that should... Oh, make that small grid. Compared to the 9.8... 1515315, you automatically get more thrust than you are supposed to actually need. That'll help kind of with that buffer zone at the beginning, and then you can kind of fiddle with it from there depending on how you think the ship controls. Because, I mean, let's be honest, everybody likes their ship to control a different way. Eisen likes his ships to be really flippy and 360 no-scope somebody from the other side of the planet. I like to feel the weight of my ship, so if I'm making a carrier, yeah, it's going to take me half a year to turn around. Same thing with thrust. I mean, it's going to take me half the planet to slow down. I don't need to stop on a dime. I like being able to judge the distance, and does it result in more explosions? Probably. But
your best thrust to weight ratio is always going to be hydrogen in terms of getting the best performance out of the lightest package. But you have the complexities of refueling, processing fuel, conveyoring everything. And if you're not efficient with your conveyors, you could add a lot more weight to it that runs against the entire design objective.
Yeah.
But in terms of efficiency, the large grid, large atmospheric thruster is the most energy efficient thruster in the game. So they're quite nice for that reason. And the Flatmos, to my understanding, have the same efficiency, but...
So I want to check that, because hydrogen thrusters don't technically, quote-unquote, use battery.
Correct.
So when it comes to energy efficiency, I mean, they're 100%, technically. But
yeah, the
you have to worry about the hydrogen tanks is the issue.
And the large thrusters are more fuel efficient by a small amount. It's not a tremendous difference. It's like I think it's like a 6% difference or something like that. It's not huge. But they are far less volumetrically efficient. And they're also less surface area efficient. So that's why you see a lot of builds still using small hydrogen thrusters, because they don't have the volume and surface area to accommodate the larges.
Yeah.
And you're not giving up that much for it. But if you've got a big enough build, yes, the large hydrogens are your most efficient. Fuel-wise. And man, we got a storm brewed in the server here.
I know. I thought something crashed into the base when I spawned in. Get this elevator finished up.
Okay, I've got both Flatmos and large Atmos on my passover, so I can tell you efficiencies right now. Let's take a look-see.
And you're doing the math for that, right?
Yep. So 6.7 megawatts is a Flatmo right now. And we're at 2.6 meganewtons. So 2.6 meganewtons divided by 6.7. So 0.388 for a Flatmo. versus
You said 0.388.
yes. That is newtons over watts.
Ah.
A large Atmo is 6.5 over 16.8 or 0.387. Okay. Yes, they're the same basically. 0.388 to 0.387. Yeah, they're basically the same.
And that's flat mode to regular or flat mode to...
Flat mode or regular. So I guess if you
Yeah.
wanted to be, I'm not sure how accurate my thrust is currently, decimal wise, because it's giving me two significant digits.
That's fair.
So at the current rounding error, it appears like the large flat modes are technically more energy efficient by a hair, but that's within margin of error for what it's showing me on screen. Now, in terms of total thrust, it was 6.5 to 2.6, so actually, Nari, the large flat mows are more than a third.
Really? They're supposed to be exactly a third.
So it's 6.5 divided by 2.6. They're, oops, sorry, other way around. 2.6 divided by 6.5. They're 40%.
Wow.
Huh. 40% of the power or
40% of,
thrust?
yes, both, because they're the same efficiency.
Oh, yeah.
We
That's-
just calculated efficiencies.
That's actually kind of nice to know.
Yeah, so 40%. This is free. Large grid, large Atmos. Why don't you check the small grid versions on your Scout Mayfly?
Okay. So you want the large flat mows?
It doesn't have large Atmos, so let's do the small flatmos and the small thrusters.
Oh yeah, it does have.
Just give me the max thrust overrides on both of them. Give me the flatmo first.
Hold
That
on.
sounded expensive.
I turned the thrusters on and I was still connected.
Yeah. You can just keep them off.
Can you do thrust overrides on that? Oh yeah, we just did that. Okay. So small flat mow first.
Yeah.
Okay. 32 kilonewtons of force.
And then a small Atmo. I think it's 96, right?
Yeah, 96.
That one is rate a third.
And the large flat mows give 230.
What are you know?
230. Now we need a large Atmos. I got some on the Templar. Let's see.
Okay.
What?
576.
Oh, God. That's broken.
40%. So large flat mows are 40%, both small and large grid.
Huh.
Small flat mows are 33%. Interesting.
Phonic. Stop
I'm broken
cursing
again.
the server. Stop cursing things.
What did
We
you
already had
do?
this. You should see his elevator.
Don't worry about it. You just go back to your math.
You remember the drill boat?
Uh-huh.
He's doing it again.
Oh boy.
I have magic pistons. Where's the elevator in your eyes?
Right here. I'm standing on it.
Okay, that it is there for me too. That's good. It's a
All
bonus.
pistons accounted for on my end,
They are.
and where they're supposed to be on my end.
No, they're not. Oh, sweet motherfucking Jesus! I have a broken piston.
You get
I have a ghost piston. This one in the
Yeah.
middle. It is all kinds of broken. I don't know.
See, for
what's
me,
happening.
it's just not extended.
Yeah, but if you go in the control panel, it is positive bleh, as I'm trying to speak pig Latin, apparently. Positive velocity and
I show it
no
as negative
restrictions.
velocity. It shows negative velocity for me.
Reverse it then, because it's positive for me.
I just reversed it.
Okay. Now it's not broken. I don't know what happens there,
I looked at it. That's why it fixed.
apparently.
My family can confirm.
Yep.
Mine's for all of the internet to see.
Although they
Yep.
always complain that whenever something doesn't work, all I have to do is come over and look at it, and it starts working.
That's fair. That's my entire job description.
Why are we so low on uranium, by the way?
Because 100 of it is in your ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause we
jump.
needed to turn on your reactor to get the ship to fly.
Yeah, your batteries were a
And
little.
it's still on. I'm turning it off.
Should have been off.
Yeah, Phonics said you turned it off, but
He did not.
I did. Same way the thrusters turn themselves off.
And the inertia tensor.
That's
Or
yeah,
not inertia tensor.
dampers.
And dampers. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because those were off when I got in the ship, and then I know I turned the reactor off, so...
Actually, no, it ran the reactor dry. The Passover has no uranium in the reactor.
Love that. Unless Izzy took it back out, but I doubt it. 'Cause
There's
Izzy
100
usually-
uranium and a galleon reactor, and that's all we have.
Nope, then we used up 100 uranium.
200.
We only had
230,
two.
in fact.
We only had
We had
200 something
333.
when I took
We had
it out.
333.
Math. Okay. Elevator's pretty much done. No, it's not. What?
Fuel.
There's another piston that's not extended? Yes. Why is my elevator broken?
Alright, I'm gonna come look at it. Yep,
Was it in?
it
was
was-
it in the
it was-
negative?
Yep.
Ow! Are any more pistons deciding to be jerks?
Well, watch yourself on your height here. You're getting close to the
Hmm?
prop.
Yeah, it only stops like a block above the catwalk.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, but I'm out of hydrogen, so...
Okay, it just stopped.
I did make sure before I actually put the floor on. Of course, piston's messing up. Lord knows they'll probably go through the ship at this point.
hey, Eisen.
Yo.
Are any of those consti weapons hand weapons we've got have explosive damage?
Yes.
Okay. Which one?
The plasma.
The plasma? Did it do damage to blocks, or was that a component's damage?
I don't remember the specialty. It wasn't that impressive when we used it, but it did do area damage.
Okay. Do we have any of those?
No.
Okay.
What you want to test?
Well, I was going to make a damaged version of this for the fleet.
Okay.
Phonics
Yeah.
fleet he was talking about?
if you want damage, sure. The plasma would be ideal for that because I don't know that it'll fully destroy a whole lot without multiple shots, which is probably a good idea.
Well, let me make a blueprint of it first, and then make a
Yes.
copy. Like I said, I don't need a copy. I just need to change the name before it. We damage it. Okay.
So funny tip for miners as well for folks: if you are inevitably going to hit the ground and there's nothing more you can do about it, hit the ground
Dive.
with your drills first.
They're
Drills have insane
stupidly
impact
strong.
resistance.
So drills have this weird thing about them where they are stupidly strong to smacking into things. Obviously, because you have to smack into the stone. But that also comes in handy because, like Eisen said, when you're falling, just point down. More
Don't expect
often,
to come out of it unscathed, but you might.
yeah, more often than not, the drills can blow up, but they'll also be the only things to blow up. So, little tidbit there.
Yeah. Also, parachutes, not a bad idea.
True.
I love parachutes. Never put them on anything.
I don't. Yeah, I don't put them on many things other than like my inner atmospheric warships. I tend to put parachutes on those.
How did I do this?
But the everyday stuff I try to design to where it'll.
Oh, dang
never
it.
need
It didn't save my name.
Okay.
I
That whole thing
renamed
again,
it, though. Yeah.
Let me make a plasma cannon real quick. Uh-oh, we are out of something.
Ice,
That-
maybe?
Doesn't
I
surprise
think
me.
iron
at all.
is that something. Take a look.
Oh.
Wow.
We are so out of iron, it doesn't even show up on our ingot summary. That's how out of iron we are.
That's amazing.
Alright, I'm taking the plunge miner out.
Get another mill.
Where are you going to? The one that you found previously? What iron are you going to?
I'm going to a iron, cobalt, and nickel. I will share the GPS. That.
Oops. Turns out that was all connected. Do we already have that? No, we don't. Okay.
Oh, there's a A.is-min-13.
Who's 13?
That's a signal.
I don't know. That might be player.
But A.is,
Let's go take a look.
10 kilometers from my position on the Fisherman.
Yeah, I see the antenna now. 10.66 from here.
I will start mining some iron while y'all investigate, because we need iron either way.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
take
good.
the death scythe out.
Okay,
Are
I'll
you
wait
going?
for you.
Are you going in the? Oh, you're
I'm-
going the Mayfly.
Yeah, I'll wait for you.
Okay.
I'm just hovering above Eisen at this
Because-
point.
Well, the thing is, if it's a player, then I don't want to shoot it. But if it's not a
That's-
player, then I do want to shoot it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was just taking the Mayfly to see, and then if it's something we can...
Well, if it's something he can
Come on.
shoot, as long as Nari stays 4 kilometers from it, there's no, or 3 kilometers from it, there's no weapon that'll.
That'll reach it,
Ping 'em.
yeah. That's fair.
You would think that until you get attacked by space squids.
Tentacles
speaking of
alone,
space
10
squids-
kilometers long.
Gargantia on the Verdant Planet was, or of the Vergios Planet, was a great anime. It was a good one. I got space squids in that one.
Now I
I
have a
don't
new
think I've
thing
seen
to
that
add
one.
to my list. You can send me a DM with that name, thank you.
I just posted in crew chat.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Alright, you ready?
So,
Think you
yeah.
can keep up this time?
Um, Maybe. I have added a lot more thrust.
Fair enough.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh! Oh yeah, you're right there. I mean, we have a max speed, sadly, but...
And we also have an unknown distress signal over here, so there's another NPC base. So
Ooh,
that
okay. You want to check that out real quick, and I'll check this one?
well, that one's neutral, so we don't need to worry about that. That's one of the crashed ships.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But that does have stuff we can harvest, so...
Yeah, this is
I know
compact.
exactly. Yeah, so this one is Crash.
Oh, okay. Alright, so...
Yes, it is
that
player.
makes sense.
Oh, that's Crash Nova?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
See, I checked the factions list real quick, and I didn't see that.
I don't think they are in a faction.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's just the tag of their ship.
Gotcha.
But I do want to go check out this other one.
Well, there's this one, and then there's the damaged hopper that I found, so... We've got 2 NPC...
Are you shooting it?
No, my turrets are off.
That was Thunder.
No, it's got a exhaust block on
yeah,
it that
it's
sparks so
sparking.
that you can see it.
Hmm.
So that you can see it.
I heard Thunder right before he asked that, so that's...
So
yeah,
this is
I heard the
one you
thunder
can-
and then saw the sparks, and that's the main reason why I asked it.
So yeah, this is the one
One
that
of the
you
new
converted
ones,
at
huh?
one time.
Yeah.
This is
Um,
the
I thought that
This
was
is
a
the one you
mod
converted.
one.
no.
Oh.
It was one of the new vanilla ones.
Okay, so we have seen this.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Okay.
But I mean,
Is it the
we
one-
might as well check it for loot. Because if it's
Which
got,
one is it?
It's the do you
That
remember
one-
that heavy flyer he made?
That one we turned into the hauler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay. Yeah, that... Ooh. That can have thrusters on it.
That's what I'm looking at.
It does. And it's got some motors and metal grids.
Thrust components.
No. This one looks like it's all hydrogen.
Hydrogen and Atmo.
Hydrogen atmo, yeah. This one is hydrogen and atmo.
Okay, too bad.
So, but
Yep.
we will need a vessel with cargo. So if you...
Yeah, once I retract this plunge on the fisherman, that's $500,000. I'll go connect up to base and bring the cataphract.
Okay.
I can fly
And
back real quick and just pick up Gabby, too.
Yeah.
That'd work. Probably be just as
I
quick,
mean-
but that will give me another plunge too. So you may as well.
I mean, this is going to be mostly motors and metal grids.
Ooh, guns.
Got guns on it? I'll grind
Uh,
those down first.
No, it's got guns in the locker.
Oh, well, you've started the timer, so we've got
2 hours.
2 hours to get everything we want off of it.
Yeah, I'll go get Gabby.
Are you just going to grind the whole thing down so that we can break down the plates for iron? Or are we going to cherry pick it?
That's up to you guys. I mean, he's getting probably a mill in iron, so...
$500,000.
Yeah.
Not like I can't get more.
We'll just take all of it.
A Prototech frame.
Ooh, nice.
So we can also get Prototech parts from encounters. I like it.
Yeah, we knew that. It's just
Yeah.
really little.
And the frames are really, really rare.
Mm.
Yeah.
will-
Apparently,
Look that up before we do anything else.
I want to confirm with Groundline, but he has a signal that says delete this admin. So,
Yeah, Green Dragon does.
Green Dragon. Yeah, not Groundline.
Thruster.
They both start with
So,
a
I
G.
mean, if you're bringing Gabby, we might as well grind this whole thing down. But I'm
Ow.
just looking for any
Depth perception.
Prototech
Yeah, make sure we get
parts.
that. Make sure we
Looks like-
especially get that.
4.6k magnesium, 403 nickel ingots, Let's see.
I think the first prototech block we need to make is probably the assembler.
Yeah. Some guns. Let's see, is there anything on this dead engineer?
He had a data pad.
Okay. The dead engineer has a data pad that says I grew up on Earth. Dying out here, there's worse ways to go. We're on Earth.
I
Well,
mean,
so that's accurate then. Dying on his home planet, there's worse ways to go, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
Mhm.
I mean,
to be fair,
It's
in any
supposed-
context, I'm pretty sure that would make sense.
so yeah, that's the only prototech on this
Whoa.
thing. Whoa. Did you
Gabby's
crash?
Gabby's very tippy when,
Empty.
yeah.
Okay, so 750,000 iron is what I'm going to bring back here. I can hold more, but I'm not comfortable getting up the ramp without destroying something.
Mm-hmm.
As it is, this may be interesting.
Damn it.
But I'm going to give it a try.
Alright, on my way.
I can never really confirm if these freight containers actually do drop their stuff when you grind them down with a machine, so I'm just gonna grind that in my hand. It was just a standard rifle in there anyways, so I'll just throw that in my ship so that, because I don't ever remember to grab a gun when I need to go do something.
Oh, there you are. I was like, you're not showing up. Where'd you go?
Oh, do I need to increase my antenna range?
No, you're good. It just took a minute for it to stream in.
Okay.
Does he need to do it for later?
No, I was less than 2K away.
Okay.
The ship and him and the NPC one just didn't stream in very quickly.
How much do I have my beacon set to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I good to start grinding?
Yeah, I've got the prototech part in my hand, so
Cool.
everything else is pretty normal stuff. But since you've got Gabby out, after you grind down this ship, if she's still got... Ah! He's trying to escape.
A little bit stiff there, lad.
Yep.
Alright. Iron
The
connected
mortis
up.
has definitely set in.
His dad told him to have a stiff upper lip. He took it seriously.
Well, that's a bad thought. You know, if Grabby Hands was working, I'm wondering if these things are light enough to throw around. There's only one radio component. I know, it's a horrible thought. But it's like, well, he fell off, and I can't move him around, but...
To be fair, that's actually a pretty good question. Can you move them if needed? Say we dug a hole, we're trying to get them, proper burial. Can we do that? I think that would make sense.
I haven't seen anybody do it. I have seen somebody that got attacked by a reaver, and one of the dead engineers that was strapped inside fell out, and he dug a grave for it, and I think he ended up pushing it in by jetpacking into it and making it move. But I haven't seen
makes
anybody try to use Grabby Hands.
I think I'm going to be getting myself to bed here because I've been wasted this week. That anesthesia apparently does not like me in the long term, so
I mean, that's how I was
Getting
for
out.
a few days.
getting out little by little. It's a
Alright,
lot better than it was.
have a good night.
You as well.
See ya.
Oh, before you leave, Izzy is set up to auto disassemble, right?
Yes.
Okay, thought so. So yeah, this will give us
Plenty of iron.
additional supplies.
Yeah, all the quotas should be set. I've learned all ammunition we're not using is set to 0. The only things hidden are old ammunition that we're not using, like the vanilla Gatling ammo, vanilla medium caliber, vanilla large caliber, and the old pools.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Missed a spot.
Yeah,
No.
that happens. Have a good one.
Alright, have a good night.
Tundra, thank you for the follow. Such a wonderful human.
It's really funny watching your screen. The blades don't move at all because of the refresh rate.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Then I'll lead you over to the hopper after this and we can grind that down too.
Of course. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, you can also join the Discord, where there's a bunch of other people that would be able to answer if we're not around, or any time of day, really. Ooh, there you go. Thank you. You can join that. I mean, there's a bunch of people that'd be willing to answer and help you out.
And Silver's really, Mr. Silver 01 is really new too. What was it? A couple of weeks ago, you had a whole bunch of questions that he was having issues with.
Yeah,
So
and he's come a long way since then, too.
Yeah, but he's also fairly new, so you don't have to feel like you're surrounded by a bunch of people who've been playing forever.
Right.
Hey, hold still for a second. You dropped magnesium on the ground, and I don't have enough cargo capacity to pick it all up.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes, I do. It's the 0.1,
Oh,
so never mind. Okay.
fair enough.
As well.
Plus, with that Discord link, you can also join the server that we're playing in. It's
Yeah.
crossplay, so no matter what system you're on, you'll be able to join in and build away. If you want. I mean, it's not a requirement by any means. You can always play on your own and still bullshit with us, talk to us. Everybody plays their own way, so.
I'll trim off these ones on the ground since they're the hardest for you to get in the ship.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of just nosing down at stuff in the ground, so. Yeah. Ow.
Did you drop something on? Maybe you better turn on Bob.
Nah. I'll
he-
let Nicor figure it out.
Oh, the jump drive. With superconductors in it still.
Yeah. Fancy.
And 120 power cells. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Now where'd you go?
I'm over here.
So yeah, this is good.
Nice little haul.
Gravity components and superconductors and 120 power cells. So I'll let you get that because
I was gonna say, I don't think you're gonna be carrying it.
no.
Could slowly, but that's about it.
Wonder if I put a landing gear on the death scythe if it would be able to.
Pick it up.
Yeah, probably not, but
I mean, the amount of thrust you have, it might.
it might. But
You figure you have excess thrust enough to make that heavy ship as fast
Fall.
as as fast as my little like
Mayfly.
explorer helicopter. So I would not see it be out of its range to do that. Alright, get these couple side pieces just so I know we don't drop anything. And let's get this jump drive. There we go.
Excellent. Ah, a basic refinery, just what we needed.
Perfect. Throw it on the Mayfly.
Yep.
You know, the thing with one cargo container on it.
I got like 20, but they're all smalls, so.
That's fair. Is that hydrogen tank filled by chance?
No. Well, it was empty before, it looked like. Let's see, it's got 11.8% hydrogen in it. Huh.
I wonder
But
if we
it's-
should grind around that and just kind of siphon it. Well, it's in the
yeah.
voxels. We'd have to dig it out.
But we'd have to build a ship to carry the hydrogen. Because we don't have any small grid hydrogen haulers.
Maybe that could be a thing next.
Might not be a bad idea for something like this in the future, but I mean, it is in the voxels. We could try to get it out.
Nah, I think it
We
honestly
do have 100.
be more trouble than it's worth, to be fair.
Yeah, because I mean, we have that ice lake right over there. So, I mean, we should go and run a mining trip to the ice lake, but we're barely using hydrogen. We've still got 12%, even after what, a week
Yeah.
of filling hydrogen bottles. So,
Yeah, it's not something we need very often.
right. So,
we'll just get the parts from it. It'll be fine.
yeah.
I have a feeling there's some stuff in the ground, but we'll see.
Oh, there definitely is.
And say, I thought that was pretty much a whole ship at one point.
It was. So there's a bunch of stuff in the ground, but nothing that we can get to. So, alright. Let's go to the hopper and grind it down.
Fair enough. Which way
What
is
is-
the hopper?
It is this way.
Okay.
But since we didn't claim that grid, it'll go away in a couple
Yeah.
of hours. So. I don't know how fast you can actually go, so.
I can go as fast as you. It'll just take me a year and a half to slow down fast
okay.
enough. I also don't know how far we have to go, so
4 kilometers, 4.5.
yeah, fair enough.
So I'll go park over it. You're within my antenna range now, so.
Yeah. Ah, there it is.
Okay. Get out of your way over here and check it for prototech. Oh, shoot. Do not blow up Gabby for a minute. Bring her down. Whoops. I didn't park close enough to the ground. Bring her down. I accidentally threw the prototech frame inside.
Ah. Well, that thing doesn't have any guns on it, does it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But if you blow up a cargo container,
Stuff inside goes with it.
yes. So,
So you want to grab it real quick? I see
yeah.
it hovering.
He does not have that thing piped up correctly.
Does not surprise me.
Okay, I've got
Actually, I think it was supposed to replace one of those, Oh, no. Oh, it should
it.
work.
It does have a gun on top. It's got a Gatling on top. Let me get that
Okay.
taken care of here real quick.
How this sits, it should be fine. Conveyor-wise to the connector.
It is not. Oh, shit.
Did it shoot at
Okay.
you?
It started to.
Oh.
It started turning. Like, activating
enough.
defensive measures, so. I don't see any drones spawning, so.
Crash ship, I don't think
Okay.
it necessarily would.
Well, after when I ground off the thing, the broadcast controller said activating defensive measures, so.
Oh.
Let me see.
Oh, no, there's still a gun on the bottom.
Where is it?
Underneath
On the
the main
bottom?
thrust.
Okay. There's a dead engineer here and here, and he's blocking my way. Under the main thrust.
In the rear, yeah.
Oh shit, it's an interior turret too. Let me get my death scythe because I don't want to.
I was gonna say I have ammo. If
And it's shooting at me, you freaking. Attack neutrals.
it did shoot me quite a bit, to be fair.
Yeah. Target enemies, target neutrals on. Did it run out of...
Something's smoking in the front.
My turrets are not firing at it.
Oh yeah, you are. To me, you are.
No, my
Oh,
forward-facing guns are firing at it.
well here, keep its. I'd say keep its attention for a quick sec.
I got it. Nope, I did not. And now I'm not firing at all. What the hell? It says I still got ammo. There it is. Okay. Oh, are you grinding it down since I've got its attention?
I was shooting it in case it decided to turn around.
You get it?
Nope. Fuck it. Watch your shots for a quick sec. It's down.
Okay.
It's sad that a grinder works better than the gun.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's got a reactor.
Nice. Does it have any uranium in it?
I have no idea. Can't access the port yet.
Well, the good news is I seem to have weathered at least that interior turret fairly well.
I
Didn't
mean,
take
most
much
I
damage.
lost is a damaged grinder, so. There we go.
Okay, that little symbol makes it hard to actually tell. Maybe my turrets were off?
You
I
were
don't think
shooting
so.
the entire time I saw you.
Well, I was shooting with my forward lasers,
Oh,
not my turrets. I mean, it didn't destroy my turrets. No, they're fine. It was shooting the heaviest armored part of my ship, my gyroscope armor, so.
let's take a
Okay.
look at what you got.
Show me
Reactor
what you
is
got.
hidden. Son of a bitch.
Flare gun? Take
O2
that.
gen.
Some credits. Ooh, some Prototech scrap.
Nice.
Uh,
Why am I trying to find a way for people to get Prototech? These people can just go get it.
there is 2 uranium in the reactor. So,
Nice.
not a lot, but it's a little bit.
Dead guy had a couple welders on him for some reason.
Where's the large cargo container? That's where the scrap is. We want to take that
Should
out
be
first.
above your head.
There it goes. Yeah. Okay. All right. I have the Prototech scrap. You can grind it all, the rest of it all down. So.
5 Klein Cola. Nice, nice, nice. 10k space credits. Being
Yep.
rich buys. What is that?
Oh, we just need to find
Oh,
a.
the broadcast controller. That's why it looked weird.
Just need to find another NPC and economy station to spin them.
I win. I found the toilet.
Woo! Oops, I'm full. So.
Unclaimed blocks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder, does this thing have a remote on it? I don't think so.
That is a good question. I think it does.
Somewhere?
I've ground a few of these down. Because this isn't an MES spawn. This is a Keen spawn. So
Right.
they might not need a remote.
That's possible.
Let's see.
That's what I was wondering, if they needed one or not.
Oh, that's right. They don't use remotes anymore because they use the AI blocks. So these new ships don't have remotes on them.
Oh,
they have
they have
AI
AX
blocks.
flight, whatever.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Did you replace your grinder already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a little messy. Everything is kind of
Mm-hmm.
tilted. Ooh, watch yourself. Don't want to grind you. As funny as it would be.
We'd lose our Prototech parts then.
I know. That's why I don't want to. Oops.
Oops, what? Did you break Gabby again, or?
No, I think our friend just became cremated.
Oh.
By accident.
Sounds
Wonder
like
if
you
it
became
counts.
ground beef.
Yeah, kinda. I just didn't want to say it that way, because then it sounds like food. And I haven't gone that insane yet. These angles make it very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Timer block. Why are you going off?
That's what makes the antenna blink.
Ah. That would be it. Oop,
No.
yeah.
Yep, I got him. I guess I can show a couple of the Tyranid ships. I forgot I downloaded them when the mod was still was in pre-alpha, and he was showcasing some of the ships.
I could see that.
But I don't know if they'll have the programming in for the waving tails or not, but
Yeah, that'd be questionable.
he might, because the blueprints I have listed are mod showcases, is what it says. I was just looking to see if I had blueprints with fleet in the name, because of how I'm gonna save those. Yeah, but I'll just save them under RNN, Ronin Nari, so I shouldn't have too many things under that.
Right. Oops. I'd say the only other thing I think had that name was the base.
Got my Atmo miner. Yeah, that's what I've been naming them, because that's what I named the POI
Yeah, that one.
RNN. So, okay, so yeah, I can keep naming them that.
Ooh, Gabby, slow down.
Are you starting to
Get a little heavy.
be too tilted? I can grind down the rest by hand if you want me to.
Yeah. It's just the handling of this ship changes so dramatically as she gets heavy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
Leaning. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Look out.
sliding away.
Hell, I might as well just go to the downhill side, let it slide into me.
Yep.
I want this reactor, though.
That was a structural block.
Yeah, damn hydrogen tank. That thruster's
Yeah.
gonna be one, too.
Yeah. If you can catch it.
Right.
It seems to be trying to run away from you. I'm really glad they included this whole auto-delete thing.
It makes it so nice for bases and ships that have pieces in the ground. Especially
Yeah.
for servers.
So, the only thing I dislike about it is how it resets your progress if you... Oh, that's up. And I still don't know why it does that. I could have swore that previously... I'll get it.
Yeah.
I could have swore previously that I had taken over an
There's
NPC
still...
base.
Looks like there's a piece here. I'll try and get...
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
I see it. There's a couple pieces there.
Yeah. And then what looks like scrap metal right off to my left here. Oh, there's something.
Oh yeah,
colored.
lots of it.
Yeah.
Lots
You
of
just
scrap metal.
throw it in here. But no, especially for servers with the countdown, and as long as they don't claim it, it just disappears on its own, which is honestly less cleanup that we have to do.
Yeah. So.
I kind of wish MES started including that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how exactly it's called. Or if MES
Um,
even calls it at all.
Well, no, MES doesn't call the spawning conditions because they're new, but
Right.
okay. Turrets. Make sure they're off.
Well, even on Keen stuff, I don't know how they
Cause it to
Telegrid.
vanish.
Yeah, Telegrid to do that.
I mean, probably the same way they did it in Frostbite. When the GPS moves, so like... So since Green Dragon has this delete this, do we grind that down and take it for parts?
I would just delete it. But I want to make sure with him first.
I thought he said something in chat.
Yeah, because I think that's the base that Ground Line started shooting.
I guess... No, he didn't say anything in chat. He just said it in the game, in-game,
Yeah.
so... Have you touched down?
I am in the hangar.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get in your way.
Oh yeah, all good. All good. All good.
Because parking this thing is a bit of a trick.
I was gonna say
Those
it looks kind of wonky.
Well, it's the little connectors. You have to line up exactly with them, and they're, you know, what, 1/8 of a block?
Oh.
So...
Oh, I see. Yeah, you have to be like on the money with it.
Yeah, I thought that it might have had like the same hitbox as the regular connectors. Just, yeah, now it can connect to small connectors. So you didn't have to get exact, but yeah, you gotta get exact.
Right on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Place you there. Let Bob's take care of that.
And you also gotta not blow up your connector, which is hard in a ship this powerful.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Yeah. Let's repair this again.
One reason I made mine go down and why I put those
I need to
buoys
set
on it.
like impulse power on it and just have a whole bunch of the backwards thrusters turned off. Or the reverse thrusters. There we go.
Okay, so let's go 7.2.
Oh, they did actually blow out a couple of my armor panels. Turn on the projector here.
Nope. It's probably gonna be like 7.5.
7.5 what?
The top piston on this new elevator.
Oh, okay.
Nope, that'll work. 7.4. Nice. Okay, so now all we need to do
Mm-hmm.
is throw a timer block down here. Do I have any? I don't think so. So let me add a new bar with all this stuff. Automation, sensors, sound block,
What are you?
buttons. What's that?
Oh, it says I'm missing a block, but I don't know where.
Oh,
I wonder if I saved it with like one of the temporary blocks on, but
maybe.
maybe. Okay, well, it is fixed up. Handled pretty good for a sort of combat against an interior turret. Couldn't hit it, but at least I didn't die from it, so. And drop the prototech off in our cargo.
Go to this one. Okay, so second floor.
Women's lingerie, suitcases, and
Well, here's where we have a bunch of regular just square pistons somewhere. Oh no, they're FPM. Okay.
aren't those the ones you put in the regular elevator, the other elevator too?
The FPM I think is one of Eisen's things, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the fisherman plunge miner.
Yeah. So we just got to go through our pistons. This one, set and move. Okay, 0.3 extension. Floor 2. And then we just keep going. Set and move. Set distance. 0.3. Floor 2. And I get to do this 5 more times. Oops. I already messed up. See, the cool part about using the timer blocks now is that when you go to use the set and move function of the pistons, it automatically grabs where their current location is. So if you have the floor at the height you want it, you could just skip the set distance part, set the speed you want, and honestly the label doesn't really matter. It just has to be original.
Not extra crispy.
Yep. So you don't have to worry about setting like the specific distance the piston has to go. Because now this one should say 7.4. 5. We want 0.3 and 4.2. So that should be all good for second floor. Now, if we go back to our pistons, which that last one, I have a minimum distance of 4.9 to match with this floor here. So hopefully, if I just hit reverse on all those, lower elevator, reverse. So now that should bring the elevator down to this level. Where that piston will stay extended a little ways to stay level with this floor. Yep. Nice. So now all we gotta do is go to the other timer and do the exact same thing at this level. So this is the first floor, 0 delay, set up actions, and run through it.
This is fully charged. I'm gonna go see if I can find that iron. See whether I fall out of the sky, but this one is ready for you to take if you've got. Do you have a world for that, or are you still using your Rust world?
That Rust one.
Okay. Good, because I was thinking that this would have a normal version and then like a damaged version. So like shoot it with a rocket launcher or something and rust it out.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't have the Rust mod in at the moment, but does not mean I can't easily just put it right back in.
Right. So.
Okay. That should be that timer block done. And we should have a working elevator with a 2-story button press. So if we go in here, we find timer, we gotta find the right one. We have a lot. Elevator first floor. Lower elevator first floor. Second floor. So now if we go second floor.
Okay, let me go back up here and I come look.
Yeah, I was telling Eisen earlier that elevators are stupidly easy to make. Yeah. Once I figured out the timer thing, you can make a 10-story elevator like we have with 10 different stops on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a timer block per floor. And there you go.
All right, well, nicely done.
And then you hit button 1.
I thought you were gonna change the color.
Minor details. Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Did you set it to keep going up?
No. I accidentally grabbed Eisen's block ramp port
Whoops.
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen? Because he's got hinges, not pistons. So. Oh no,
Oh,
he does have pistons because it folds out. No, that's just hangar doors.
but it's on a timer block. That's what I grabbed.
Ah, gotcha.
Well,
I
let
don't.
me hit that again.
I was gonna say he's got a button that should
Yeah.
set it, but that's fine.
No, what ended up happening looks like that timer block is directly under mine in the list. So when I grabbed it, it probably glitched and grabbed the one below it. Sometimes does that. There we go. Now we're on the right one. So if I hit the button, we start going down. And you can fancy it up like I did with our main elevator by putting the sensors and having doors that open and close automatically.
Yeah, we'll probably have to do that another night. It's getting pretty late already.
Yes, it is. Oh, jeez. But this should be the floor that we can build the welding room and the rover depot off of. I'm going to leave that up to Eisen, though. He knows what he had in mind. For now, I'll just leave it here and do as he so wishes.
Are we gonna need to take the welder bay out of the galleon so we don't have too many welders running around and dropping sim speed?
Once we get that one up and running, it would probably be a good idea. Which is one reason I wasn't worried about the doors being put on.
Gotcha.
I need construction components, apparently. I just want to lay out those catwalks.
Catwalks?
Yeah.
And
then head out of here.
okay. Are you gonna send Dragon a message on Discord to verify that grid is
Yeah. I
good to
want to
go?
double check with him before we just go ahead and delete it.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can get a load of iron in case I need a rescue here. Guys, yeah, this is definitely a low-level miner. But it's supposed to be... The next one will be like a proper miner for mid-game, and then do a late-game Atmo miner.
Yeah. Is there anything wrong with that?
Where is his hole? He leaves interesting holes in the ground.
Yes. Yes, he does.
But it's actually wide
kinda
enough that
huge.
I can just go right down inside of it.
Makes sense. I don't think that will have an issue. You'll have to let me know, but I don't think this is going to merge with the other ones.
What merge?
Having armor slope tip like this merge with...
No, it won't.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed
It doesn't have a connection point.
to... Right. That's what I was hoping.
Okay, which... Maybe I should. No, we need iron more than anything else. But it's like, which end was he digging at, and which end is he going to continue digging with in the future? Because
Good question. Normally he just drives over top of it, I think, to be honest.
well, because if he does another plunge, some of this iron will be missing. Because I guess I'll just start at this end farthest from the base. It's probably
Yeah.
where he started and was working his way back towards the base, but
It's hard to say. Ah, shit. Definitely time for bed.
mm-hmm.
8.
You know what we forgot to calculate in the thrust? The
More
bottom,
thrust?
no, the connectors, because of the way SE fills stuff. If you don't have
Oh, yeah.
Izzy on, it fills your connectors first. Oh, my drills are full already. Well, half full, so I guess that's done with mining.
I mean, for
It's
an early game miner,
wise.
yeah, that sounds about
It is.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2 medium cargos and 2 drills and the connectors. But yeah, it still flies good.
That's all that matters.
So it does have that problem of multiple directions of thrust, but like I said, it's a early game miner, so
We want numpad 1 to be text.
oh, and not quite close enough, but it does do 90% power when you're stopping, so, and 70% when you're cruising forward. Well, because I have 2 more thrusters on the front for braking thrusts, because miners get heavy.
That
So-
idea.
So
And then we want numpad 2. Text.
would be nice to be able to see though.
Yes. That's definitely a privilege at this point.
Can we go back to Octave?
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah, it was dark as hell, but at least there was no fog.
you trade sunlight for weather at that point.
I mean, the plants glowed in the dark, so we could see them.
That's true.
Think I'm over the galleon? Kind of going off of Eisen's radio in his bedroom,
Oh, yeah.
because like I am, well, 70 meters off the ground, so however big the galleon is, I'm like
Oh, I see you. Yeah.
10 meters off of the top of the galleon and I can't see it.
Oh, hey, elevators here.
Let me empty this out. You can grab a blueprint before you get off.
Well, that was quick.
Well, and put it in my row and get you the other ones is because once you get a blueprint of this, I'm just going to drop in the grinder pit
Fair enough.
and build the level 2.
I was gonna say, I haven't looked at it too much just because I wanted to have some kind of surprise.
Oh.
But I will definitely be looking at it once stream ends.
Oh. So,
And I know you guys watching chat can see it, but
I think you should take a copy of the Mayfly too.
I was thinking about it. That'd be nice to have just flying around as a nuisance.
So, you need to do something about the batteries to make it vanilla compatible, but
I have a vanilla version of it.
yeah, okay, yeah, I thought you did.
It doesn't
But
have
just-
nearly as much thrust, but it can fly.
Mm-hmm. But just swap it out with some broadcast controllers
Yeah.
and, have it send taunting messages to people when it detects.
Set its
Players.
speed to... ooh, I wonder if you can put... I know you can put
Yeah.
AI blocks on them, but I wonder if you can trigger the AI blocks. Because can't you trigger timers with the MES?
Yeah. So,
I wonder if
I
you
think
can do
they're
that.
created with the timers set up. So the blinking antennas and stuff like that. But, because you'd have to use sensors and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but if you set the defense controller to flee and then point it backwards, then it would flee towards the enemy signal, the player.
Well, what I would do is set the... Since it doesn't have any guns on it, it won't shoot. But I would put an offensive block on it. And one of the options for it is to orbit. Basically meaning it would just fly in circles around its target. And you can
Right.
set the distance. So I would put it at like 1K and have it fly circles around them.
I thought you had to have a gun for it, though, to get it
But-
to use the offensive block.
Mm-mm. Not that I know of. Because that's how my missiles used to be made. I'd set them to intercept.
Yeah, I suppose that's true for missiles, that they don't need a gun on them.
Well, want to catch
So-
a ride up the elevator?
Which elevator? The blue one or the new one?
Blue one. New one's down low.
Alright.
Get up
I
to the
wish they had.
cryos. Kind of foggy, so it kind of sucks, but
Mm-hmm.
don't get the great view.
True enough. I mean, you can see an outline of the area,
Right?
but yeah, you can't even see the base. It's so foggy right now. Alright. Standing at the edge of the
At the edge of the
elevator
abyss.
and only seeing vague shapes.
Right. Hell, I think the Passover's the most visual thing you can see. It's lit up like a runway.
Yep.
Kind of is a runway in its own right, but fair enough.
Shut off the
Alright.
lights.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
I shut them off for you.
There you go. But with that, we are gonna call it. I'm tired, and I have to take a
Mhm.
blueprint real quick before heading to bed. And I think we got quite a bit done. Mainly ranting about thrusters and that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
we got a new elevator built. Did a bunch of math for it and all that kind of shit, so I think we're good. Tore down a couple wrecks we found. We're in a good spot. Oh shit. But with that, Discord link's already there. If you guys would like to join and be able to join the server, talk about SE, give us some, input, show us what you build, even just ask questions. I mean, go ahead and join. We also play a bunch of different games. There's a bunch of different channels, a bunch of different players of different games. So, I mean, don't feel like SE is the only thing you gotta be in the community for. We also have a few other game servers that we run, and always willing to take in ideas for new ones. So feel free. Let us know. Join up. Come play with us. If you're on the YouTube side, that link is going to be in the description. Sadly, you cannot see the link that... You can see what Nari typed, but the link doesn't show up on the YouTube side. So go ahead and down in the description. It's down in there for you guys. But other than that, go ahead and hit the follow button or even the subscribe button. It's free. I mean, come on back. You can listen to us in the background, talk about stupid stuff, or you can watch us and hang out and chat. We always love chatting with you guys, so it's always a fun time. But I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Oh, shit. Yeah. That. You all have a wonderful rest of your night.